Let's talk about entrepreneurship. So a lot of us have ideas, but how do you really become an entrepreneur? How do you turn ideas into real business? How do you take advantage of opportunities out here? How do you build impactful businesses as a new entrepreneur? My name is KN Jokiri Guga, and I'm passionate about impact and value additions in the spaces that I'm in and communities that I'm part of. And I'm with my sister.
My name is Shiko Riguga, and I'm passionate about helping people and just being in spaces that elevate me to be a better person. So it's interesting that we're both in the same space of entrepreneurship, but we have somehow gotten into talking about it, seeing what is changing, what is working for the entrepreneurs out here, and I'm excited to have this chat.
I also hope I'll become a proper entrepreneur after this one, besides value adding to entrepreneurs. So, how do you find and define real world problems? How do you build your customer story, your product story? How do you test? How do you get feedback? How do you improve fast? How do you pitch? And how do you sell your solutions with confidence? You don't have to wait to be great. Just start from where you can. And then be ready now with this conversation to think, to build, and to test. Shiko.
Yes.
Tell us about what makes a business worth exploring, or an idea worth even going beyond.
Yes, we all have ideas, and personally, I think every day I have a new business idea. But do we actually think about if the idea that you wake up with, is it really business worth? Because some of the ideas that we have could be maybe a problem that we are not really, people are not really struggling with so much and they need a solution for. So those are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself. Is it a problem that people are facing? Is it, how often do they face it? So for example, is it something that they face every day so they need a solution for? Or is it something it's once a year? Yeah, because you're also looking at it's a business and you're looking to making money. So if it's a problem that someone is facing a year, then your revenue does not make sense, right? And then we also look at how are they currently getting solution, because I believe that every idea somehow, somewhere, someone is solving it in a different way. Yeah. So if your idea is you look at someone else's offering out there, is it being given, and how, at what magnitude is it being offered? So because you could be coming in as a supplement because it's not offered enough, maybe there are many customers and you need to supplement, or you want to offer it in a different way so that it complements what is already there. So those are the questions that when you have an idea and you want to turn it to a business, you first ask yourself those. And then there's another thing that, apart from the questions, there's an idea that is just nice to have. Like, it's a problem, it could be solved, but it's just a nice one, yeah? Mm-hmm. And then there are those urgent problems that they need to be solved, like today or yesterday. So sometimes you also need to have a difference to know, what are these two? Is it something that I need to solve now, or is it something that can be solved in the future? So when you think about those two, what comes to mind? Like, what are these problems that sometimes you look at, you're like, hey, this one I need to be solved, and some of those, it's just nice to have, we can sort it later.
So what I'm picking is real problem. So for the real idea, real problem, real urgency, and real people, and people who can pay for that problem for it to be to actually make sense. And it's been said that actually an idea can be a vitamin or a painkiller. Imagine, we know vitamins and we know painkiller. But then what differentiates the two is a vitamin is said to be something that's, nice to have and, not really urgent. But then a painkiller is urgent and it's a must have. So for painkillers, they said that they can be, proper business opportunities immediately. However, you can turn a vitamin into a painkiller by making sure then it's, you change it in a manner that it can solve a real problem. But most importantly, it's what you're saying. Yeah. One has to stop and say, okay, who is this that will buy, whether it's this painkiller for real. And an example would be notebooks would be something people need. I love notebooks, so I'll refer to notebooks. So notebooks can be a good thing. And then how fancy and the level of fanciness and what it has, can be a vitamin, like it's a nice to have. But then when you look at something, you're having water, like now filtration for this water, whatever will make the water safe, that's now a painkiller. So you'd find that people are always keen to have safe water. So depending on the water source, then it's a painkiller right away to have safe water. So a filtering process. So with that, then you stop and say, what are people currently using? If it's notebooks, what are currently people using? If it's filtering, how are people currently filtering the water?
So we are talking about, you have an idea, it's amazing on paper and everything, but do you really know who you are solving it for? I think when we are starting businesses, that's where some of us, we are thinking maybe of ourselves, or you're thinking, this is an idea people will buy. But now it's important to come down to define this person, like their age, their interests, what do they like, what kind of websites do they visit, do they read, do they work? So depending on what your idea is about, then you want to narrow down this person so that if you're targeting them, then you can be able to find them. That also helps you to see where they are. If, for example, you want to open a shop, right? So you want to open a shop where these people are. You will not probably be selling, let me think over maybe it's a fast food. And then you go to a place where, like there's, let me say, like high-end homes where rarely someone will come to buy your fast food, So that business won't make sense for you. It might be a real, it's food people buy, but is it, even the location, it informs you where you need to locate yourself. So even income, if you're selling a product and maybe it's jewelry and it's around, maybe your budget is, your class, it's around 5,000, 6,000, then you know the kind of person you'll be targeting. So even how you position yourself, how you sell, how you talk to them, it's different. So it's very important to have that clarity, who you are selling to. Then it is easy for you to now make the product itself, because now you are specifying the product and customizing it to the specific person that you are targeting. And we are talking about, a lot of us, we say we want to start biasharas, we're looking at all the challenges. Unasema pesa, I need to pay rent, I need to, all these bills that come with starting a business. And when you get there, then you tell yourself, maybe I want to do this now, or you want to postpone, you want to do later, and then that idea can die in that process. So what is usually advised is something that we call an MVP, a minimum viable product. And this is something that you can start with to help you know if, one, you're testing if that idea or that product, that business, is actually something that people are looking for. So you create a version of it. If, for example, I take the example of someone who bakes, So instead of doing many cakes hoping for someone to come buy, how about you do 2 cakes? You have your neighbors, you give them like samples, give us feedback. Is it nice? Do we need to reduce sugar? And I've seen this, there's a company at Naivas, they were doing the eggless cakes, And they were giving samples to us. And I remember one of the feedback was, okay, nuts, but it was too sweet. So will it be, you want something that does not, it's not too sweet, it's not too, they're bulk, but it's nice to taste. So that information will help this business owner to go back and say, okay, customers told me this, now what is it called, to pivot and to feedback, using that feedback that you're getting from your customers to make it better, so that you don't buy things, import vitu, then what like, this is not what we are looking for. So having very small things, it could be depending on also the industry you're in, that informs what you're making. Because I know there are those like tech people, sometimes you cannot create the whole thing to show people. So it could be stages of that product, it could be a sketch, it could be something so detailed that the way you explain, someone can see themselves through it, and they can see how it's going to help them. So I think when you have that, then you test it and it helps you understand your business even better. and customize it. So it's
So basically, moving from the problem that you saw these people that you know where they are and you know what problem they're facing and they can pay. So moving from this is the problem and yes, they can pay for it, to now figuring, okay, what is this, the prototype, and then the minimum viable product. So I wanted to add, so yeah, what you're saying is definitely a simplified version of what it is that you're doing, and it can even be a sketch or a proper description or a version, a simple version as you go on increasing. But then remembering that for sure it has to be one that can be tested, can be seen, you can get feedback on the go. And you've given us an example of you want to sell cakes here that you can start. I'm keen to listen to something, to many other examples. And what I wanted to highlight as well is, I think what they say rather is make sure you test first. You fail smart, you improve faster. So the pivoting from what it is that you're, and iterating whatever it is. And I think even for our users, rather for those that are with us in this session, they could think about what is it that they can sketch. It can even be a sketch. Maybe it's dresses and some designs you want to design. You can draw the way you were saying, walk the customer through the journey. So to solve problem X, this is what I intend to do throughout, and describing exactly what will happen. And make it unique by saying your idea or your product will be item X, so that then we can put a name to what you're saying. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So
when you're starting, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes I think perfection makes us take longer. So you just start where you are, and then the rest will somehow figure itself out. I want to use an example of what I do, so that maybe a service, because products are somehow a little I wouldn't say easy, but easy-ish. Where people struggle a lot is where the service is, when you're offering a service. And I do digital marketing. When I look at digital marketing as a problem, I'm seeing Kenyan business owners are struggling to just be online, to create content that actually will sell. For me, that is a problem that I've seen when I talk to business owners. They're like, okay, we're struggling to figure out this creating content. Are we dancing to sell? The way TikTok is, gosh, we cannot dance. Are we selling? Are we doing our accounts? Are we ordering? Or are we going to dance? So sometimes that struggle and understanding, so that's a problem where someone tells me I'm struggling to sell online, then that's an opportunity for me to come and say, okay, you focus on selling, walk-ins, your customers, then I come in, I help you create the content, I help you post the content, so I help you manage, talking to customers online. So you're focusing on other people, who are coming in, and then you have to respond to DMs. Like you have a proper alignment between the digital space and the physical one. So that's a problem that I identified, and that's how I'm helping them to solve. Are they paying? Some are willing to pay because they understand the value of being online. So those who understand how online presence have become a space where we can sell and increase revenue, they are paying very well. But there are business owners who are very still behind, and they're relying on referrals, they're relying on walk-ins, and they're still a bit slow. But it's a very big market and an opportunity that I see for myself and for business owners to grow. So that's I think maybe another product that you can use for an example, so that someone can see the two different ways of
and something you say, then even as you have the idea, the product or the service, in this case, digital marketing services that is customized in whatever platforms for the small businesses, then also one has to see the type of businesses that one is approaching. Then do they derive value based on also the type of the business, where their customers are now, when we go further, where their customers are, what products and services they provide, so that we then see the relevance of digital marketing. But then being able also to provide, whether it's budgets, starting somewhere with them, so versions of the same digital marketing services that could make sense for them. So that's what I think. I'm also thinking, just as you speak to it,
Yes. Now that would be an MVP. If someone is starting and you just don't know, okay, I don't have equipment, I don't have marketing budget, you're wondering, so how do I even create an MVP that I will start? So I know, for example, for digital marketing, everyone will ask you for a portfolio. They want to see who you work with, they want to see the work you can do. So an MVP of that will be you're creating, so you identify maybe a car wash as your niche, like you want to just work with car services, yeah. So you create content. You create content like you can show a customer, this is what I can do. It will not be necessarily for them, but it's a version of what you could do for them. So you're able to show and say, this is what I can do for you. Because I think that's also something that a lot of us, especially for services, and you're starting, it's new, you've not worked with someone, no one can refer you yet, but you know the skill, you know what you can do, but you just don't know how to showcase it. So using even out of that, you call your sisters, like, what are you, be my example, I do something for you, then you're able to show others. So that's how I think creating an MVP can start. And then Najiuliza, I have already created the MVP, so and I need to sell, I need to make money. So where do you start? But I think also that's because the essence of also creating business, other than just having the passion and to help other people, you also want to make revenue. Yeah. So where do you start from? Yeah.
So I'm thinking, for example, you start, family and friends, so those around you. So you can start by selling to family and friends. You can start with professionals and colleagues around you. You can go we are in institutions, whether it's churches, whether it's schools, whether it's chamas, whether it's, we are affiliated alumni groups. So you can start by selling also in those. We are in neighborhoods. You can start selling by your neighbors. It can be friends of friends. So so it's more of, depending on the service, you can start as you grow. But then earlier on you talked about digital presence. So you can also start, if your item is digitally available, it can be, to those even who don't necessarily have direct contact with those that you're already in touch with. And if it's already in a place where people walk by or can see, you can sell there from. So what I'm seeing, and perhaps you can also tell us how exactly we do that, is you start where you are, and then you sell what you can, and you build as you go, so that then, customer 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and before you know it, this one is referring another. The experiences are shaping you to improve what you're doing, and then you're increasing your sales as you go by.
That's very true. I think the digital space has made things a little easy for us to sell. It has given people an opportunity to test and to talk to people easily. You can even, like, if you're doing something you want questions answered, you can easily DM Biashara, like, I need this information, could you give me? And people are very willing to do the same. So the use of I think digital space right now, before you start that shop, you just your TikTok. I feel like TikTok is a very, like, the best place right now for people to discover and for you to test if this is something that people would buy and they're looking for. With that, I think it's interesting because also as a business person, you don't know everything. So there are things you have to learn. So where do you get these resources? You don't want to go back to school. You just want, quick information so that you're able to run a business. Because as a business person, as you're starting, there's accounts, there's sales, there's a lot of things that involve a business, and you need to somehow, even if you're going to employ someone, you also have to know the information. So I feel like YouTube is one of the big, my one to go place. If I want to learn something, I go to YouTube and then I research elsewhere, and then see what are people talking about it, what's working already. A lot of people test these things and they talk about their challenges, they talk about how they solve it, so that can quickly move you to the next stage if you're starting a business.
So, but basically what you're saying is there's resources, and I'm looking at, you've talked about YouTube, but also if you're doing documents, an example, if you're tracking your budgets, you can even use Excel. If you're doing the flyers, you're saying Canva, you can do Canva. So some of the resources out here can be utilized for that. And as you talk about resources, I'm thinking for you to grow, you need support, and support of different kinds. So support is not just money, and you've talked about the tools. So perhaps people can start where they're at. For example, you can even ask your friends, your colleagues, if it's testing, though you're saying even for feedback. So if it's at cupcake, I love cake, so I can give you feedback on how it is. You can, if you need to pitch, because you'll be pitching to customers, you can decide that what you're saying earlier, just listen to me. I want to pitch, listen and give me feedback, for example. And then as you sell, make sure the money that you're obtaining, you're taking it back to the business. And for social media, for example, for my business, now that you're doing social media, the first one I'll say, assist me to do social media. And if I need images of the same, I will ask our neighbors, kindly take, nice images of what you're doing. And with that, just in the groups that I'm in, forward so that people can sell further. So support is not just money, as we've said. It could be the tools that one needs. If I needed a paid up Canva, it can be used. It can be a space to work. So someone can have an office. You can ask, can I, dedicate a space for me? It can be mentorship. So you can ask to be mentored by those around you and those who have done. It can be help in transportation. It can be feedback we've talked about. So with this then, it requires one to be able to sort of do mini pitches to different people so that they're able to provide support that one needs. So I'm looking at pitching, and I'd love to hear your pitching, but what I'm looking at is you should be able to say, who you are, definitely, because you're pitching to different people and they'd have different levels of knowledge about what you do. So what's your name? You can inform them that you're working on a business idea, and if you have a sample already, whether an outline of it, a sketch of it, or a physical product, or a version of, a technology product, you can, show it to them or give it to them. And you can explain to them what exactly it is solving and for who, so that they can also give you feedback that is relevant. And you can ask for support, whether I'm asking you to test for me, or I'm asking you to look at it and give me feedback, or I'm asking you to post it online, so that your networks can also see, or maybe introduce me to someone who might need this, or even help me with materials that I need to, to kick this off. So essentially just being able to, to provide a mini pitch to those people around. And what's your take on pitching? Mini pitches.
Mini pitches. Mini pitches is, I feel like this is something, because who you are. This is a space where a lot of us struggle to explain ourselves and to say what we are selling and what's about. But pitching is a space where it can really help you to clearly state your problem, to clearly state what you're selling, your solution. Kila kitu it's usually 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, you should be able to do that. It's 1 minute. That's why I thought it was 2 minutes. 1 minute for someone to hear who you are, what you're selling, your solution, Ivo Kabisa. So it's a practice that we all need to be doing often. And the more you pitch, the more you talk to people, you get better at it. And I'm just looking at how we have ideas, let's turn them, let's use the resources that we have to quickly see, is it a business, it's not working, move to the next one, because we all have ideas every day, and it's good to test if it's something you want to explore. Let's test and see if it's something that you want to convert into a impactful business.
And basically to remember that entrepreneurship is about it, you don't have it figured. Entrepreneurship isn't about having everything figured out, so you figure as you go. So it's important to start small, to solve a real problem with the idea that you're having, seek support and help, keep improving. And I think the call for action is now, if there's any idea that one has been having, to go test it and make an impact, and most importantly, keep building. What's your final shots?
Go and create that business. Don't sit on your idea. Just do it.
And I love the way we found ourselves in this entrepreneurship world. So looking to thrive ourselves and with you in entrepreneurship.